Right, so we start up with welcoming you all for the CACPT June 16 batch, right, at PrepRite. So, see, how do we go about it is first let us introduce PrepRite to you because all of you are at PrepRite. So, let us first talk about PrepRite, what PrepRite is, right? PrepRite is an education institute where we basically deal with professional courses, right? We deal with, let's say, chartered accountancy, CS, then CMA. We also do courses like BCom 11, 12 as well, right? So what is the philosophy of how do we take up the course at PrepRite? What do we go about doing things, right? So we view education in much more refined manner, right? It's not just about, let's say, learning something and just writing it and clearing the exam. Our basic focus is upon developing our student from the core concept, right? Because जब तक आप लोग core concept से तैयार नहीं हो तब तक you may not face a question, you may not be able to answer a question in the exam which is, let's say, out of the box. You may not have dealt with such a condition before, and if you have to answer something, it's your experience, it's your concepts which will come into the picture, right? So our philosophy is to basically concept wise preparing our people to build a strong foundation of our students, right? So we put in our professional experience which is there, etc., in place, and try to prepare our students in a way that they are able to face the exams as well as see, these are professional courses, right? So what is the objective? After you clear these exams, you will become a chartered accountant or a company secretary or whatever, and you'll have to perform in the real world, right? You would look for opportunities, maybe it could be job, it could be your practice, etc. So you should be ready to face the world. That is the entire philosophy, right? So we start off from, let's say, the basic foundation level, we do the intermediate level, we do the final level, and guide our students through the entire thing, right? And then we also believe in the fact that each student has a different learning capability, right? Somebody may take, let's say, a minute to understand, somebody may take 10 minutes to understand. So we try to tailor our learning experience, our teaching experience in a way that it suits each individual student, right? So if we talk about our philosophy, as I'd already told, that we focus on fundamental concept, right? Our faculty team, whatever faculties we have, right, those are professionals, those who have industry experience, have worked in the industry for a while, and then they have an extensive teaching experience as well, right? We sometimes try to innovate techniques, we try to innovate things in how we can change the way we could teach people, how in a different way we could make students understand things. We use a lot of practical life experience. So that is the edge between somebody who is a professional and who is also teaching, and somebody who has actually been doing the course and started teaching, right? Since all of us, our faculty team, are from a practical experience background, so जो भी हम लोग आप लोगों को पढ़ाते हैं, we have practically dealt with those things in our real life, right? So we can quote those experiences, we can quote those examples to you people, so that it becomes a little practical, right? Because theoretical पढ़ते रहते हैं तो मज़ा नहीं आता है. But if it is highlighted to you in a practical way, if it's a real life example, then it's more engrossing, it's more in a way which people would take it, right? Then we deal with regular assessments. मतलब जो भी पढ़ाते हैं, I'll be very clear on the first day itself कि it is your responsibility that whatever is done in the class on a day, you have to revise it on that day itself, right? आपको उसका revision वही दिन पे करना है, because maybe let's say if a topic is over, in a day or two you will have a test coming in, right? And I expect nothing less than 90% is good for me. So you'll have to deal with in that way कि भाई जो भी हम लोगों ने करा है साथ साथ पढ़ेंगे. And believe me, if something is done on a particular day and you do it on that day itself, how it goes is कि you take, let's say, an hour to revise it. बट अगर उसको एक वीक तक छोड़ने के बाद अगर आप लोग वापस करने की कोशिश करोगे ना, द सेम थिंग विल टेक 3 hours, राइट? सो वी नो व्हाट इज बेटर फॉर अस, स्टडी फॉर एन hour and enjoy for the rest of the day rather than, let's say, cracking our heads on a regular basis for 5 hours, right? So regular assessments will be there, and moment we take an assessment, we get to know that how our students are performing, whether somebody is struggling with a particular thing, etc., and we can take corrective actions as soon as possible. And if you miss a class, see, it's a complete no-no in terms of missing a class. It's highly advisable, and we would make sure that all our students attend the classes regularly, right? Bunking classes, etc., is a real no. But in case if you miss a class, we have the facility of video backups. but limited number of backup per students will be available, right? So if it's because of a genuine reason that you have not been able to attend the class, we will let's say extend the facility of video classes, because it's highly recommended that you are there in the live sessions only. Okay? Now we talk about the courses we offered. As I had already told, CA, CS, BCom, 11, 12. So these are the wide range of courses basically we deal into. Now, which it's essential to know your faculty better, right? So let's first talk about myself. I am a chartered accountant. I have approximately more than 9 years of experience now, right? And I have dealt with various listed and multinational clients, because prior to getting into this teaching profession, I was associated with a Big Four consultancy firm, which was KPMG. It's one of the Big Four firms in the world, right? So during that tenure, I had basically got an opportunity to work with various listed and multinational clients in the audit service, right? Presently, I am the proprietor of GGP and Company, which is a consultancy chartered accountancy firm, right? And I have dealt in my prior tenure with listed clients like Britannia, Himadri, ICICI Paints, right? You love Pizza Hut and KFCs, etc. So I have done the audit of all those things. In terms of, let's say, if we talk about the subjects, at the CPT level, I deal with accounts, law, and economics. Right, at the IPCC level, I do accounts, law, and audit, and at the final level, I do accountancy. Right. So for focusing on your CPT perspective, total कितने subject है CPT में? Hope everybody knows. How many subjects? Firstly, it has to be a very interactive, right? I should not be the only person who is talking. It should be equal way around, right? So 4 subjects. So one subject is missing, right? What is that? So I have left the most difficult subject for Amit sir to take over, right? So if let's quickly have a look at his profile. So see, whenever I go to his profile, it becomes really difficult for me to summarize, because I don't know where to start and where to end, because कॉमर्स स्ट्रीम में ऐसे कोई कोर्सेज ही नहीं है जो उन लोगों ने छोड़ो ही नहीं है, राइट? एंड अगर कुछ नहीं था तो फिर सीए में भी ही got a all India 14th rank in final, right? So Amit sir is an IIM Ahmedabad graduate, right? And his field of specialization is finance, right? He has done his CA, CS, then CFA, and maybe some other courses he would have added in his kitty by now, right? And he was the all India 14th rank in the CA final examination, right? He is an all India CAT topper, and he was awarded Aditya Birla scholarship for this. Nominated. He was nominated. You did not go for it. You had better things to do, right? So he was nominated, but he did not opt. I think that he was busy in doing some other course at that time. Right, so he has worked extensively in the banking and equity research space, right? He was, I think, associated with ICICI Bank and some other organizations. At present, he is a visiting faculty at several business schools, maybe like IIM Shillong, XLRI, Praxis, and so on and so forth. And let's talk about his subjects, right? At CPT level, he deals with quantitative aptitude, which is maths, right? Then at IPCC level, he deals with cost and financial management. And at the final level, he deals with strategic financial management, right? So everything is focuses more on maths and finance and stuff like that, right? Then we move on to our course, which is the Chartered Accountancy course, right? So how we go about it is, let us first understand कि भाई ये course का structure कैसा है, किस तरह से हमको इसको approach करना है, right? Because all of us are aspiring to become a chartered accountant, right? So let's know that course well, that what would happen, how would we go about it, etc., right? So let us first talk about the Chartered Accountancy course. ठीक है? Chartered Accountancy course में कितने level होते हैं? 3 level. What are the levels? See, everybody is like totally aware of the thing, right? So we have 3 levels at the CA course. We have the final CPT, right, which is the starting where you people are right now, right? So you have to climb the ladder up till there, and then we have IPCC, and then we have the final course, right? Believe me, in the commerce stream, it is one of the most respected and most awarding field which it is there, right? Because the terms of opportunities which you get as a chartered accountant, the amount of respect, the quantum of respect which you get is phenomenal, right? And we have been experiencing that from all these years now, right? So now let's come to your course. Okay? let's come to your course. Course structure mein we have CPT mein we know that there are two sections, right? Section 1 and section 2. Section 1 comprises of your accounts and law. Section 2 comprises of your economics and maths, right? So accounts is a 60 mark paper, law is a 40 marks paper, again economics is a 50 marks paper, and maths is a 50 marks paper, right? So we do not have something like kya passing mark hai, etc., because we don't think about what is the passing mark, what is the threshold, right? Our target is to go 80% plus, right? So apne liye what is the passing mark? The passing mark is 80% plus, right? And then the work is done, right? Again yahan pe it's a paper which will, let's say, have 2 hours paper each. The exam will be conducted on the same day, right? I think the date has been announced. Now when is your CPT exam? 19th, right? So 19th June 2016 is when we have our CPT exam, right? So it's a 2 hours paper. This is also 2 hours paper, right? And the struggle is with the time, because 100 questions will be there, right? 60 questions from accounts, 40 questions from law. Again, you have 50 from economics and 50 for maths, right? So the way we'll go about preparing, and there is a negative marking as well. If you like, let's say, on a random basis, right? Lottery लगा के आप लोग करोगे MCQ questions stick, तो you may end up like, let's say, losing marks, right? So we'll discuss upon how to strategize something like a law and economics, right? The way we will prepare it, it will take, let's say, 20-25 minutes out of your 120 minutes awarded to you. So that will give you some extra time to attempt your accounts and maths paper, right? And sir, if you can talk something about the maths preparation part of it.
Good morning, class. Okay, Jayesh has already introduced me. So he's put in 30-40% extra to what I am, I'm sure. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's wonderful to see you young characters, and that's one reason why I'm into this profession. But I think this is the only profession which allows you to deal with young minds, irrespective of where we stand. So I'm a little more senior to Jayesh, so I feel a little more lucky to be interacting with you characters. And that's clearly the reason why I teach you. Okay. Maths is a wonderful subject. Some of you might not agree with me at this point of time, so I'm sure I will enable you guys to change your opinion 2-3 months down the line, and you should come out of the exam hall smiling and not cursing at me or cursing at the paper. Okay. Maths is 50 marks, so while it constitutes almost 25% of the overall CPT, I realize, I mean, having interacted and having taught a lot many of you, I realize that maths is the phobia which a lot of you suffer from, and it's basically binary. You understand what is binary? So either somebody really hates it or loves it. Okay? So how many of you actually love it? Okay. So at least have one hand coming up. Okay. We're going to have the same talk 3 months down the line, and I'm sure all the hands would be raised. So maybe we will deal with the subject a little later, when we really do an analysis of each of these sections. Maybe when I start off my maths class, I think that's when I would talk about maths and stats, because you have 2 sections to it. Okay? But for today, we'll keep it light, so I'll not make it technical. But it's going to be wonderful. I like Jayesh said, just a couple of things which he was talking about, and I can't agree more with him on those things. For us, CPT is merely an excuse of teaching you guys. I think what really differentiates this place from others, I'm not trying to talk all about this place, given that I am here, but I realize, and that's the thought and culture that I share with Jayesh, is that we look at CPT, or for that matter any exam, as an excuse to share our learning with you, whatever little that we have. Okay, so between me and Jayesh, possibly we would be having around 20 years of experience. And this becomes a platform where we try to share our experience with you. So don't look at simply CPT, or for that matter, whatever subject that is being taught to you, don't look at that as something that you are here to study. I mean, look at the intangibles. It's very, very difficult to communicate that. Okay, I mean, and that again is something that I can't capture, or Jayesh can't capture in the presentation. But that is something that we love sharing with you guys, because we know at the end of the day, once you're done with CPT, CPT is just an entry. You got to do IPCC, you got to do final, and that's again not the milestone, right? And then you step into the world and you start working. I think that's where your experience with us would possibly come to use. And that's where you will possibly be able to differentiate yourself from many others, you know, who seem to be going elsewhere. I'm sure there are good places out there, you know, good stuff is being taught. Please. But I think there is an extra intangible stuff which you will possibly be imbibing out in this place. Okay, so once again, I welcome you all over here, and I hope you guys have a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all about having a great time, because when people come to me, when parents come to me, the only word which I use is that don't worry, they would enjoy study, right? So it's the word which I use very often is that the student should enjoy study, because believe me, if something is burden, would you like to carry on that burden on your shoulders? No. But if you're enjoying something, right? If you're enjoying something, then you keep on doing it, Why? You're getting fun out of it, because abhi class 12 ki exam diya na, more the utility, more you will keep on consuming, right? So it's like getting more and more marginal utility, right? So it's like our proportion will be opposite to the law of marginal utility, right? As you consume more, your utility diminishes, but here as you study more, you will gain more to the utility which you derived out of the studies, right? See, so again, as Amit sir was saying, the differentiating point between us and the others, etc., right? So do you recognize people in this slide, right? Who are these? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Tennis players. Right. Who is this? Who is this? Right. So all of us recognize the player. Does anybody recognize this? Do you know who is this gentleman who is there? Do you know his name? Most of us, his father. See, so most of us does not know the name of the other person standing behind it, right? So this is basically our role, which will be. So we want you to make, or we want you to be, let's say, the Sachin Tendulkar or the Bolt of the world, right? But the success is yours. The effort is ours and yours cumulatively, right? So these are the coaches of these wonderful players and successful players which are there. Right, so most of us does not know the name of these players, right? Or let's say the coaches, but we know the name of the players, right? So once you become the chartered accountant, you will be known as the chartered accountant, right? So the prefix CA will come next to your name, right? We already have it. But what is our role right now? We are your coaches, right? We have to guide you through the entire journey of your professional course set so that the world recognizes you, right? We have to guide you through this entire journey so that the world recognizes you. And in terms of the intangibles, in terms of our experience, whatever industry experience, in terms of practical clients which we have dealt with, practical study scenario, etc., which we have dealt with, right? So this is everything we'll put into place so that you become successful and you are recognized in the world. I'm absolutely clear about it. So see, what you have to do is, like, as the role of a coach is to mentor the student, right? So you will have to equally respond back, right? So if the coach asks the player, okay, bhai, do a 20 rounds, right? He has to do a 20 round. So if he asks you that please revise and come, there will be a test. So you have to actually revise and come so that you are able to appear for the test. And believe me, the classroom lectures and the discussions will be so interesting. Okay, the majority of the work, if you are attentive in the class, that also we'll try to ensure that you are, right? So majority of the task is achieved, right? So then, so how do we, what is the mantra to success? बहुत लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं ना कि सर कुछ ऐसा बता दीजिए कि सक्सेस मिल जाए, ज़्यादा काम करना तो अच्छा लगता नहीं है, right? So what is your success mantra to success? Because you need to succeed, right? So see, what we believe is that plan, pursue and perform. So these are the only three things which are required to be successful. In terms of your planning, okay, you have joined prep, right? So it was your plan कि भाई exam June में है, तो अभी से preparation चालू कर देंगे, right? Where most of the friends have gone out of station after their boards exam and they are enjoying, and you people have planned and let's say taken the pain of doing it right? So first you need to plan. But क्या खाली plan करने से हो जाएगा? I plan to join prep right and I have joined and now everything is done. No. What you need to do? You need to pursue your plan. You need to study continuously over the period of time so that you are able to achieve. But सब कुछ करने के बाद अगर examination hall में if you are not well or you're not enjoying or maybe any distraction, would you able to clear the exam? No, right? So on the day of the show when the stage is set, you have to perform, right? So what we need to do, we need to plan, we need to pursue that plan, and when we need to perform according to that plan, and that is what will lead to our success, right? So I know now the young generation, you people are like pretty aware of all these things, that how to be successful, the objectivity element is there, etc., right? So what is the message from us, right? Our message is that to achieve something you have to go that extra mile. वो जो slide हम लोगों ने आपको दिखाई थी ना, Sachin and Bolt and etc. So those were the person who actually implemented that. They planned their life, they pursued their goal and they perform in a particular way that they become successful, right? So to be successful, no matter whatever field you are in, आप CA कर रहे होगे, आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो, right? What you need to do is you need to go that extra mile. Your attitude, see, attitude defines a person, right? If your attitude is of a go-getter, right? Your attitude is that I never give up, right? So then the world is your, right? So you should have an unconquerable will कि भाई करना है तो करना ही है. Like there are students who come to me admission के time पे, sir अगर clear नहीं हुआ, अरे यार now you are applying for the course, why are you thinking clear नहीं हुआ? तो यार कर रहे हैं, if we put in the efforts, it's not like going to moon or space के clear नहीं होगा, right? It's a simple exam where you have to study and you have to appear. Clear तो होगा ही होगा. But here our objective is, see, after a point in time you would realize, after a certain number of classes or after a span of time you would realize कि clear तो हो जाएगा CPT. But the struggle is that how much marks do we want, right? कितने अच्छे marks हमको लेकर आने हैं, that is the struggle, right? So यहाँ पे I'll just show you a glimpse of our previous term's result, right? पहले से पहले, अभी this is just the December term result which I am showing, right? It could be that these are some of your friends as well, right? So just look at the result. In a professional exam, I tell you the December batch success rate was 80%, जबकि institute का success rate was something like, let's say 34-35%. We had 80% of our students who had cleared, right? And those were the ones who had never missed a class. Again, there's a differentiating point. Those were the ones who had never missed the class. पहले मैंने क्यों बोला ना that missing a class is completely no. Why? Because in every class you will learn something, and that will be instrument. Because see, as I told you, okay, what do? We go ahead and build your concepts, right? So some solve karna is a different thing, but the intangible things which we will tell you, right, that is something which will define how you will do in the exams, right? So if you look at the score, we have scores of like, we did not have space to fit, otherwise 10-15 jan और fit हो जाते in the same range, right? So we had to take a cutoff. So something like 88, 85, 85, 80, 78, 75. So this is our expectations from the students, that guys, you have to be achievers. Yeah, देखो, as I keep telling students, right, you give 3 hours of studies and you score, let's say, 60%. Give 1 more hour extra and score 90%. Don't you think it's worth? It's completely worth, right? So we have to put in that extra effort so that we are known, we are distinct, right? So, and look at the individual subject marks, right? You feel really wow when somebody does a 59 out of 60 in a CA exam. It becomes a proud moment for both the student and the teacher as well. Again, if you look at his marks in maths, right, that's a feared subject, as you say, 45 out of 50, right? And you see the consistency of marks, right? Most of the people are near out of 60, 59, 56, etc. Even in maths, you see that most of the people are doing well. See the score in law, right? 40 में से 37. Although most of the scores are 33, 34 plus, but then 37 out of 40 is like really something which gives you that kick, right? And then even in economics. So see, the thing is that we need to score well. मैंने क्या बोला कि मैं आपको passing threshold बताऊंगा ही नहीं, because मेरे को आपसे 80% से नीचे की expectation ही नहीं है. The way we will carry on the course, the way we will take the course forward, you will have to achieve 80%. So are you guys ready for that 80%? It's like very slow. Yes, yeah. Come out loud. Say yes, sir. We are there. Right? So is everybody there with us? Yes, sir. Yeah, that's good. So now we'll have solid preparation, and what will it lead to? Excellent result. So we are here for solid preparation, which will lead to an excellent result. Right? Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Right? Now we'll, let's say, go on to the subject specific things. Right? So before we move on, you know that our head office is at Elgin Road. You can also visit our site, which is preprite.in. Right, we keep on, let's say, posting regular stuff, any amendment, etc., which are there. And do like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Facebook/Preprite. Right, so now I know everybody is very savvy. Moment you open your mobile phone, you have Facebook, which is there in front of you. Right, so please go ahead and like our page. And thank you so much. Let us start on a very high note of a journey which will be like fun learning. Thank you so much.